Hello everyone, this is Tuba Mirza and welcome to Recoding. In this video, we are going to learn about responsive grid system for Materialize CSS. So without further ado, let's get started. Materialize CSS uses 12-column grid system, which is pretty standard in CSS frameworks. The grid helps you lay out your page in an ordered, easy fashion. Before we start, we recommend you to download Live Server plugin for VS Code now. First, add boilerplate code for HTML. Then we add title as responsive grid system. We need to create a style tag inside it. Add box class, which holds background color or coral and height 50 px. Then add some padding top of 10 px. Padding left of 5 px. And padding right of 5 px. Now create an end child for our box class and add even, so when we create even number of box, it shows two different styles. Inside it, add background color turquoise. Then create a div element of class section. Before we do anything, first we need to import our CSS from Materialize folder. Now inside a section, type 12 grid column. Then create a divider, which is Materialize class. We need to add divider after the section. Now we can create a paragraph tag in which add description for our break classes of Materialize CSS. For being responsive, Materialize CSS has different class name for different class of devices. So if we create a theme for mobile, it renders the content correctly and according to the device size. And if we create a theme for large device, it shows content as per device size. And all these can be handled with a single code base. We don't need to create different style for different devices. Now create a div with class of column and box together. Then create another div with same class. And here we can see that our column is working. Now create a div with class of row so that we can arrange our column in a single row. As soon as we type our column inside the row, all the column arrange itself in this column. Now inside a column div, we can set the size of column within the range of 12. So as we write S12, it will show 12 with column in a single row. which means it filled the whole row. Similarly, we can add class S6, which means small device with column width of 6. Then we create another div with same class. Now we can see that we easily arrange a column. We need to add margin rather than padding, so delete the padding part and add margin to the top of 2px. To make it more responsive, let's add another class of M6, which means that when the device size is greater than medium, it will show 6 column width, which is half the size of 12 grid column. Now open our inspect menu by right-clicking on the web page. And here you can see that when the device size is larger than medium size, it will show M6, while if the device size is lower than medium size, it will show S12 or S6 class respectively. Similarly, we can add another div with class S4, which means column width of 4. So we can add 3 total columns. Now add another div for S2, which means column width of 2. So we can add 6 total columns in as single row. So here we can see that if the device size is larger, it will show bigger columns, while if the device size is smaller, then it will show more compact view. While in the real world, actually perform opposite to it, more compact view for larger device, so we can use its full width and more wider column size for small device. Now we can add another column class for larger as L3. And here we can see that our grid becomes responsive easily without writing a single line of CSS. Now let's learn about grid offset. Offset helps add more extra spaces on the sides of column. To add offset, we simply need to create a div. Add class column, then add S6 and offset M6. This means that column will be of size 6 and leave 6 column space before the column. Here we can see that how our offset is working when the device size is smaller than the medium screen size. We can see that offset stops working. Offset helps in many case scenarios for creating cards of adding something right hand side rather than left. Similarly, we can copy and paste this div and see our design pattern. By changing different sizes of offset, we can create some interesting pattern. Now let's see another interesting class of Materialize CSS push and pull. Push and pull helps us to create alternate pattern design, as inside HTML, when we type code it's working according to sequence, but if we need to add a column after another column, we need to type code before it. This class will help to do that. Push class pushes the column as per our need similar to offset, but the pull class helps to opposite to it. We can add push and pull the device size prefix, so it will show responsive according to device size. Here we can see that a push and pull is working. Similarly, we can create column for other classes. Similarly, create more div. Now let's talk about container. The container class is not strictly part of the grid, but is important in laying out content. Container helps to create a margin on the size of larger device. As the screen resolution becomes bigger and bigger every passing year, it will be hard to maintain the design. So it helps you center and contain your page content. We use the container to contain a body content. We just simply need to create a div with class container and add our code after row to each column inside a container. And now we can see that a container is working. Now let's create another section for a final grid. Create a div of class row. Inside it, create a column of size 12. Then create another column which will have more classes in it like S12, M4 and I2. Similarly, create more div. Now we can see that the responsive grid is working fine. So this is how we can create a responsive grid system using Materialize CSS. I hope you all like this video. For now, I'll be signing off. We'll meet you in the next video.